community member announcements. Okay, I'm gonna start again. Okay, and just a reminder too, if you can silence your cell phones. We're starting to make that regular announcement at council meetings and coffee hours. Please be mindful of that. Just one announcement that I have before we get into our presentation today. I said this at the resident council this past Wednesday, but we're really excited to have a confirmed date for our Maloney Center opening. So we've been told May 26th is when it will be turned over to Fox Run. And on Friday, May 29th, we're going to have a special event for all of you. So we're going to have a complimentary evening. I know that day is the free bingo, and I'm sure Nancy Kresge might be talking about that today. But starting at happy hour, we're going to have complimentary happy hour like normal out of our pub. Dinner is going to be normal dinner times, but it's all going to be on Fox Run. So you will get a shrimp cocktail appetizer. You're going to get a choice of either a filet, scallops, or chicken with some sides and dessert. And then at 7 o'clock, we're going to have the Hot Club Express here in the Maloney Center for the first time using our stage for a nice concert for all of you. So I'm going to be printing invitations today that are going to go out in everyone's mailboxes. We are not permitting guests that night for dinner. Unfortunately, we want to make sure we can accommodate everyone that lives here. If you wish to take meals out, you will have to pay for your guest meals, just not your own meal. But we hope all of you come down and enjoy this. We're really excited to celebrate one of our major spaces opening up. Yay! No. Does anyone have any questions for me or any resident announcements this morning? Nancy, you want to come up?
I think I can talk loud enough. Our committee is having some special events this year to raise money for the... This is a better microphone. Our committee is having some special events to help raise awareness for the Fox Run Employee Appreciation Fund, which we are calling FREE. So when you hear the word FREE, F-R-E-A-M is an acronym for Fox Run Employee Appreciation Fund. So our kickoff event is a special bingo game. We handed out some flyers at the women's tea, and there's also flyers in the on the alley elevators and the bulletin board. So you can participate in three different ways in this bingo game. You can donate a prize. Minimum value of $20, or with gift certificates. The prizes, we want them to be edible or drinkable. You can purchase a bingo card and play the game on May 29th for $10. And you can also buy some split cup tickets, and they're going to be free for $5. The proceeds will go directly to Fox Run staff in their Christmas gift. So if you have any questions, let me know. I have some more flyers out there on the way out if you want to go. Can I just have a show of hands on who will be planning to go play bingo? Will we have enough chairs and everything? Oh, wow. That's pretty good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. Alona.
I just want to make an announcement one more time for any new people about the tabs on cans. All cans, any cans, the tabs. We collect them in the trash room, and when it gets enough together, I am so pleased, and I thank Glenn Davis. He is a Shriner. He takes the bags over for me. So I want to publicly thank him and remind people, when you see it today and you throw it out, guilt will follow you everywhere. So this, we collect them, and it is for the Shriners kids. If the Shriners need the kids to go away to a hospital or anything like that, it's paid for by the Shriners. And I want to thank everybody who helps me take them out in the little can as well. And she knows what I'm talking about. Thank you all so very much, and please continue. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Alona. Okay, I would, yes, Sue.
Would you make the same announcement that you did at resident council about the new name for the grab and go after it's reopened after construction?
Sure. So Sue is referring to what we talked about at council this week, which is our new fresh market that's going to be built right here on campus. That's going to be a grab and go style. We talked about that. Liesel's shown all of you that have attended her tours, and that is going to be named the Quaker Mercantile. So we're very excited for that, to kind of incorporate the Quaker name. I know the school's the Quaker, and some history to Orchard Park, so we're very excited to have that open. Okay, I would like to bring up a very familiar face.
Betty was trying to.
Oh,
Betty Chris.
Betty Christ, yes, sorry.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to be back.
Wait. Good morning. There's a lot of new people, and some not so new people. But I wanted to remind everybody that there are 2 worship services every week. There's our ecumenical service on Thursday at 3 in the wherever it is that people congregate. Sometimes over there, God willing, over here. But there's also a Catholic Mass on Saturday at 4 o'clock. So you are more than cordially invited to attend one of those. You can bring outside people if you're so inclined. The important thing I want you to know is that the Thursday services are led by the leaders of the churches of the people who live here. And if in fact your pastor might be interested, and I can tell you that the whole time I've ever asked people to do this, there's one person who said they were just too busy. But if you would give me their name and some reasonable contact information, I would be glad to contact them and invite them to lead us in worship on Thursdays. So thanks for thinking about that, and please let me know.
Thank you, Betty. You have an announcement?
This is regarding free bingo. Just want to say, this is a fundraiser, and I'm hoping that if you don't like bingo and don't want to go and don't feel like, or don't want to donate a prize, that maybe you could slip $10 into the box. Each $10 adds up, and it would be great. And if you write a check, if you can just put free bingo, or just bingo in the memo. Thank you.
Okay, and I would like to bring up a very familiar face to all of you, Lori Gercio, who is our wellness nurse for the independent living side. This week is Nursing Care Week, and we're very lucky to have not only Lori here, but we have a lot of our nurses that work within our health center in attendance. So she was really excited about this project. She thought about this, I think, last year after Nursing Care Week. So she worked hard on her interviews and pictures, so I hope you enjoy her presentation this morning.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah? Okay. Before I start, thank you, Liesel and Killian. I think I've called them about 20 times for the technological help with this. So hopefully I'll go smooth. That was supposed to make everybody kind of chuckle to start off. Okay. Okay, so the history of nursing. that nobody else can do, in spite of all we go through, that is to be a nurse.
A nurse is so incredibly difficult. Physically and emotionally, it is all-consuming. It is complex in ways that I'll never be able to describe and you'll never understand unless you are a nurse. From my earliest memory, I never wanted to be anything but a nurse. I worked my whole life to have those 2 letters follow my name. The irony that such a complicated profession is represented by just 2 letters will never be lost on me. Nursing has taken from me in many ways that I will never get back. And some days are so exhausting that I question why I became a nurse at all. And it's on those days that I remind myself of how bad I used to want to stand in the confident, capable nursing shoes that I get to stand in today. I would be so proud of how fiercely I care for my patients. And I have far surpassed many expectations that I have ever set for myself as a nurse, and for that I am so grateful. And unexpectedly, I am so proud of how hard I have fought to say that I love being a nurse, even when it doesn't love me back.
Some fun and interesting facts about nursing. In 2020, voters ranked nursing as the most trusted profession for the 18th year straight. Nurses log approximately 4 to 5 miles each 12-hour shift. Approximately 60% of nurses practice in a hospital setting. The remaining 40% work in areas such as doctor's offices, nursing homes, and ambulatory services. There are over 4 million registered nurses in the United States, which means 1 in every 100 people is a registered nurse. Nursing is a part of being human. People have been caring for others since the beginning of time. More than 150 years ago, nurses practiced anesthesia on the battlefields of the Civil War. Midwives were the only support for birthing women until giving birth was medicalized in the 18th century. And visiting nurses were the nurse practitioners for the poor in the 19th century and early 20th century.
During the Crimean War, more soldiers died from infection than in battle. Until a nurse introduced sanitary practices still in use today. When the scourge of polio hit the world, it was standard practice to strap down and immobilize patients. Until a nurse discovered that movement and physical therapy had far better results. In the 1950s, jaundice was a leading cause of infant death, until a nurse found that a few hours of sunlight could actually cure the condition. At the dawn of the AIDS epidemic, no one knew how the disease spread. So patients were kept quarantined and alone until nurses defied convention and embraced them with compassion. During the Ebola outbreak, the disease was thought by many to be too contagious to treat, until a student nurse used what she had on hand: garbage bags and duct tape to protect herself so she could care for others. And cerebral palsy robbed many patients of their ability to speak, until a nurse gave them back their voices.
And I will always be grateful to her.
The nursing cap. The nurse's cap came to be as some of the first women who became nurses were nuns, whose caps resembled long veils and habits. The cap served to keep long hair out of the nurse's face and limit the spread of germs. Florence Nightingale required her nurses to wear a special uniform and a smaller hat. Nursing schools and hospitals had their own caps unique to their programs. The nursing cap began to fade in the 1970s as it was seen as a gathering place for bacteria. This is just what some of the nursing caps looked like. The nursing cape. The design of the nursing uniform came about from a nun's habit. At one time, the convent was a place for those who were sick to receive care, and the nuns were the caregivers. The cape was a standard part of nurses' apparel up until the 1980s. Nursing schools and training programs have been around since the mid-1800s. The first formal nursing degree programs did not come about in the United States until the late 1800s and early 1900s. Johns Hopkins University was formed in Maryland in 1889. The first nursing bachelor's degree program was offered by the University of Minnesota in 1909. The surgeon may save the patient's life, but the nurse teaches the patient how to live. Florence Nightingale gave us that advice. Florence Nightingale is also known as the founder of modern nursing, and she lived from 1820 to 1910. She was born in Italy and was raised in England. She is the historical face of the nursing profession. She opened the first secular nursing school in 1860 in London. She is also known as the Lady with the Lamp. She was homeschooled by her father and raised by a wealthy family. Despite her parents' initial opposition, she pursued a nursing education at Lutheran Hospital of Pastor Fliegner in Germany. She used the research regarding the direct connection between cholera and contaminated water to help improve sanitary conditions in the hospital setting. Her emphasis on cleanliness, ventilation, and the maintenance of sanitary environments led to significant reductions in mortality rates at the Ottoman Selimi Barracks, which was a temporary military hospital. She emphasized clean water and proper ventilation. Nightingale laid the foundation for modern infection control protocols. She has the nickname the Lady with the Lamp. She encouraged psychological care that included writing letters to loved ones, recreational activities, and education. She was known to visit patients at all hours, which is how she became known as the Lady with the Lamp. After the end of the Crimean War, she received funding to begin a nursing education program at St. Thomas's Hospital in London. She improved the facility by introducing pavilion-style architecture and full-height windows. The Nightingale Training School for Nurses became a source of inspiration in which she taught a holistic approach to patient care. Nursing evolved into a full profession encompassing patient treatment after the Civil War. Throughout this, Nightingale was asked to manage field hospitals. Sadly, her health began to deteriorate after her work during the Crimean War. It is thought that she developed Crimean fever, which was a bacterial infection. I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took any excuse.
Florence Nightingale was a famous English nurse, known for her work in the Crimean War. Florence Nightingale was born in 1820 in Florence, Italy, for which she was named. Nightingale was inspired to enter nursing from a calling from God in 1837. She worked hard at educating herself in the science and art of nursing, despite continuing opposition from her family. Nightingale began travelling and met Sidney Herbert in Rome in 1847. Herbert had been Secretary at War until 1946, and would later return to this position during the Crimean War. Nightingale and Herbert became close friends, and she then went on to travel to Egypt and Greece, where she began writing, and then underwent 4 months of training in Kaiserwerth in Germany in 1851. This enabled her to become superintendent at the Institute for Sick Gentlewomen in Upper Harley Street, London, until 1854. During the Crimean War, reports began to filter back to London about the horrific conditions that wounded soldiers had to endure. So on the 21st of October 1854, Florence and her trained 38 volunteer nurses were sent by Sidney Herbert to the Selimiye barracks in modern-day Istanbul, Turkey. Nightingale and her team found terrible conditions for the wounded in the barracks, with huge numbers of fatalities from infection and poor hygiene, as well as a lack of medicine and supplies. Nightingale sent a plea to the Times newspaper to implore the government to send aid, and a prefabricated hospital was constructed in England and shipped to the Dardanelles. The overcrowding in the hospital and the defective sewers proved to be so fatal to the patients that a sanitary commission was sent to the hospital in 1855, which improved ventilation and flushed out the sewers. The death rates sharply fell, but Nightingale continued to maintain that poor nutrition and overworking was leading to the high death rates. It wasn't until she returned to England and began collecting data that she discovered that most of the soldiers died from poor living conditions. This greatly influenced her career, and she began to advocate sanitary conditions in hospitals. In 1855, the Nightingale Fund was set up to fund the training of nurses, and in 1859, the Nightingale Training School, now called the Florence Nightingale School of Nursing and Midwifery, was set up, and the first nurses began working in 1865. In 1870, Nightingale trained Linda Richards, America's first trained nurse, who went on to become a great nursing pioneer in the USA and Japan. Nightingale was awarded several honours by Queen Victoria, but was bedridden from 1957 onwards. She continued to write and carried out pioneering work on hospital planning, but died at the age of 90 in 1910. Her lasting legacy is that of founding the modern nursing profession with her compassion, patient care and hospital planning. International Nurses Day is celebrated on her birthday every year.
Lillian Wald was the founder of Henry Street Settlement and the Visiting Nursing Service of New York. During the 1918 influenza pandemic, she became the chairman of the Nurses Emergency Council and coordinated efforts of the nurses of New York City. There was a family of 7 in Upper Harlem who were struggling with illness. The family received no care until a visiting nurse answered the call and assisted the family through medicine and education.
Lillian Wald, founder of the Visiting Nurse Service of New York, was a trailblazer in healthcare and social services. A groundbreaking visionary, she coined the phrase public health nursing. She was not only the first public health nurse, but the founder and president of the National Organization for Public Health Nursing. She was one of the most influential pioneers in the history of nursing, public health, social reform, and civil rights. And from her early vision, born of her tenement experience, the Henry Street Settlement came into being. The settlement became the home base and formal vehicle for her mission, delivering healthcare and a wide range of educational programs and support services for the community. Her classes, clubs, and community-based programs addressed pressing social problems, and her visiting nurses focused their efforts on bettering the communities in which they lived. As Henry Street grew, and Lillian Wald's ever-broadening vision expanded, she advocated for improved working conditions for women with a minimum wage, enacting child labor laws, and changing living conditions for New York's struggling immigrants. The idea of an on-site public school nurse led to nurses in 4 city schools, which soon became standard practice across the U.S. Meanwhile, the settlement extended its nursing services to additional boroughs in the city, having a growing impact. In 1914, the death rates recorded by the visiting nurse staff for children under 2, the age most susceptible to pneumonia, were at least 30% lower than those reported by hospitals. And when Spanish flu struck in 1918, Lillian Wald turned the city into a vast field hospital and devised an infectious disease tracking system that saved countless lives. These and other dramatic results are a testament to Lillian's leadership and contributions at the forefront of public health and community-based care. Throughout her career, Lillian Wald never lost sight that the health of the community affected the health of the individual. She was an innovator, introducing preventive health care methods that looked beyond just medical care. Lillian Wald made drastic improvements to the health of people in the neighborhood, New York City, and beyond. She transformed public health, initiated many of the advancements in equality for women, and completely changed the nation's approach to the treatment of children. Best known as the woman at the head of Henry Street Settlement's mahogany table, Lillian Wall's legacy is of an unwavering commitment to the improved health of New Yorkers at home and in the community. She died in 1940, and 4 years later, the settlement's nursing division became a freestanding entity, the Visiting Nurse Service of New York. Today, VNSNY continues to fulfill her vision. We are proud to be carrying Lillian Wald's legacy forward and to be a part of the broader public health and social support network that she so brilliantly pioneered.
Virginia Henderson. The nurse is temporarily the consciousness of the unconscious, the love of life for the suicidal, the leg of the amputee, the eyes of the newly blind, a means of locomotion for the infant, the knowledge and confidence of the young mother, and a voice for those too weak to speak. Virginia Henderson developed the need theory, which helped shape nursing education. The need theory states that the goal of nursing is to enable the patient to achieve independence as quickly as possible. She promoted her theory through teaching and publications. She led the first nursing literature indexing project.
Virginia Henderson is considered one of the most important nursing theorists of the 20th century, and her ideas continue to influence the nursing profession today. But who was Virginia Henderson, and what led her to develop her groundbreaking theories? Virginia Henderson was born in 1897 in Kansas City, Missouri, and grew up in Virginia. Her interest in nursing began during World War I, when she volunteered as a nurse's aide in a military hospital. After the war, she earned her nursing degree from the Army School of Nursing in Washington, D.C. Henderson's early experiences as a nurse shaped her views on the role of nursing in promoting health and healing. She believed that nursing was not just about treating illness, but also about helping patients meet their basic needs, such as breathing, eating, sleeping, and eliminating waste. In the 1930s, Henderson joined the faculty of the Yale School of Nursing, where she began to develop her ideas about what it means to be a nurse. Her nursing theory, which she first published in 1955, is based on the concept of helping patients meet their basic needs. Henderson's theory emphasizes the importance of treating patients as individuals and respecting their dignity and autonomy. She believed that by helping patients meet their basic needs, nurses could promote healing and restore health. Henderson's ideas have had a profound impact on the nursing profession, and her theory continues to influence nursing education, research, and practice around the world. Henderson was also an advocate for improving the education and professionalization of nursing. She believed that nursing should be recognized as a distinct profession with its own body of knowledge and skills. Throughout her career, Henderson received numerous awards and accolades for her contributions to nursing. She also authored several books, including The Nature of Nursing and Basic Principles of Nursing Care. Virginia Henderson's legacy as a nursing theorist, educator, and advocate for patient care continues to inspire nurses around the world. Her ideas have helped to shape the nursing profession into what it is today, and her work will continue to be a source of guidance and inspiration for generations of nurses to come. So if you want to know more about the people behind the modern nursing theories, then click the video on screen now.
Mary Breckinridge. She was born into wealth, but after a family tragedy, she dedicated her life to nursing the poor. She was a pioneer in the field of nurse midwifery. She founded the Frontier Nursing Service and opened the Frontier School of Midwifery and Nursing Services.
It started with a passionate desire, a desire to establish a nursing service to improve the health of children. One woman, Mary Breckinridge, with vision and determination, accepted the challenge to bring hope and health to families in the most remote and rugged mountain region of Kentucky, a region plagued by one of the highest maternal and infant mortality rates in the country. She believed that if she succeeded there, the model could be replicated anywhere. While working and studying in France, England, and Scotland, Mary Breckinridge realized that to care for children, one must start with the care of the mother, and that care must be given by a nurse midwife. The nurse midwives of the Frontier Nursing Service succeeded in dramatically reducing the infant and maternal mortality rate and improving the overall health of families. Today, the passion, challenge, and mission live on in the hearts of the graduates of the Frontier School of Midwifery and Family Nursing, who take their care to underserved women, children, and families in all 50 states and the developing countries around the globe.
Loretta Ford. Loretta Ford worked in the public nurse program at Colorado University, training nursing students. She saw that there was a lack of primary care services for the communities they were serving. She realized that with special instruction, nurses could deliver the needed care, and she developed a curriculum that utilized physicians to provide medical instruction to nursing students and nurses. She co-founded the first nurse practitioner program with Dr. Henry Silver. The program was launched in 1965 at the University of Colorado. She is the recipient of the Surgeon General's Medallion, which is the highest honor granted to a civilian by the U.S. Public Health Service.
This week we highlight another life well lived. There are nearly 400,000 nurse practitioners working in the United States today. They are nurses with advanced training to care for patients and an essential part of our healthcare system. That critical job was created by a woman named Loretta Ford. In 1965, Dr. Ford, or Lee to the people who knew her, co-founded the first graduate program for nurse practitioners at the University of Colorado. She believed simply nurses were capable of more, that their jobs could be more clinical than administrative. And Loretta knew from experience. Growing up in New Jersey during the Depression, she began working at 16 and got her nursing certificate at 20. Her fiancé was killed in combat during World War II, inspiring her to join the U.S. Army Air Forces as a nurse. After the war, she married William Ford, her husband of 67 years. Ford graduated from the University of Colorado with a master's in public health and worked in the state's rural communities, doing the work of both a nurse and a doctor. In 1972, she became the first dean of the School of Nursing at the University of Rochester, where she taught and advocated nationally for the role of nurse practitioners in medicine. In 2011, Ford was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame.
I have been kicked and kissed, reviled and revered, cursed and credited. Still, what you see is what you get. I have not been Botoxed or detoxed.
Dr. Loretta Ford, the mother of nurse practitioners, died last month at home in Wildwood, Florida. She was 104 years old.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget you can
Clara Barton. Clara had no formal training as a nurse, but became one of the most famous nurses in the history of the United States. She cared for soldiers in makeshift hospitals during the Civil War and joined the Army to care for wounded soldiers. After the war, she went to Europe for a period of time to recuperate. This is where she learned about the International Red Cross. Upon her return home, she founded the American Red Cross. We don't have a video for Clara because every video that we found, we couldn't get the ads to stop playing, so sorry, Clara. Dorothea Dix. She was not formally trained as a nurse, but had a meaningful impact on the care for those who were poor or suffering from mental illness. She spent time traveling throughout the United States and Europe to expose conditions that were inhumane for those who were poor, mentally ill, or a prisoner. Her reforms in the United States and Europe led to the creation of government-funded mental hospitals. She is responsible for founding 32 mental hospitals.
Dorothea Dix was one of the most influential women of the 19th century. At 14, she opened a school for children and soon established a reputation as a dedicated teacher. An inheritance helped support her passion, advocating for better treatment of the mentally ill. She traveled from state to gather information to build a better system. The first state hospital built as a result of her efforts was located in Trenton, New Jersey. During the Civil War, she became superintendent of the nurses for the Union Army. She organized hundreds of volunteers, established and inspected hospitals, and raised money for medical supplies. At the age of 80, she retired to a private apartment at the New Jersey State Hospital and continued to write letters in support of better care for all until her death at age 85. A pioneer in advancing healthcare, Dorothea Dix is the newest member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Mary O'Neill Mundinger, she is a nurse educator who spent over 50 years at Columbia University School of Nursing. She established the first Doctor of Nursing Practice degree program in the country. She has been a strong advocate for nurses and nurse practitioners. An interesting fact, in 1900, the course of study for a medical doctor in the United States was 12 weeks of lectures that were given twice. Nurses trained for 3 years. Well, that's correct. It's not the most correct. This is nursing school. Anyone who's gone to nursing school knows that very, very well. The first U.S. military casualties of World War II were Edith Ayers and Helen Woods, and they were both nurses. Now we're going to highlight some of our Fox Run community member nurses. Joanne Wildarczyk. Is Joanne here? Joanne is a graduate of Erie Community College. Her favorite area of nursing practice was drawing blood. Favorite nursing memory was carrying a new baby and saying, God bless you. Advice to new nurses, wash your hands. The most important thing, patience. Gail McLaren. Are you here, Mrs. McLaren? No. Gail is a graduate of Niagara University, and her areas of practice include psychiatric and public health. Favorite nursing career memory was working in the psychiatric unit, and her advice for new nurses is to be a kind listener. Lynn Hess. Are you here, Mrs. Hess? No. Mrs. Hess is a graduate of Syracuse University for undergraduate work and a graduate of University at Buffalo for graduate school. Her areas of practice include public health. She worked at Buffalo General School of Nursing and in the Nursing School District in West Seneca. Her favorite nursing career memory is seeing the young mothers in the baby clinic bond with their newborns. Her advice for new nurses is to pursue what you love. Ruth Shoemaker. Are you here, Mrs. Shoemaker? Can you stand up for a minute? Thank you. Ruth is a graduate of University of Michigan with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Washington University with a Master of Science in Nursing, and Penn State University with a Master's in Business Administration. Areas of nursing practice include medical surgical, education, and administration. Her favorite nursing career memory: I was caring for a stoic farmer who was experiencing severe pain while passing a large kidney stone. It was reported that he had passed several stones in the past and would not take any pain medication. I sat down with him and explained how the pain he was having was perhaps the worst anyone could experience. The medication would at first take the edge off, and then with additional medication spaced out, make him more comfortable. He needed the help of the medication. He thought about it, accepted the medication plan, and recovered. Upon discharge, he thanked me for my help and understanding. Advice to new nurses: remember, you are caring for individuals when they are hurting and experiencing difficult times. Be compassionate, patient, listen, and be there physically and emotionally. Caring for someone who is ill is hard work. However, the rewards of the relationships fostered are personal, long-lasting, and heartwarming. Keep true to the goals you established when deciding on nursing as a profession. Barbara Shearer, are you here, Mrs. Shearer? Mrs. Shearer was an operating room nurse. She still has her nursing cape, and she let me take a picture of her with her cape. She is a graduate of E.J. Myers School of Nursing. Area of practice was the operating room. Favorite nursing career memory, taking care of a newborn baby that was born outside the hospital on the sidewalk, and the baby was handed directly to her. Advice to new nurses, work with compassion and professionalism. To do this, it takes time, energy, and mostly your heart. Have a kind heart and a good sense of humor. Mrs. O'Brien, are you here? Can you please stand up? Mrs. O'Brien is a graduate of St. Vincent Hospital School of Nursing. She worked as a pediatric emergency room nurse and holds a special nursing certification for emergency room nursing. Her favorite nursing career memory is working with extraordinary, talented people with the goal of giving the best care to everyone that came to our emergency room. We laughed, cried, and always supported each other. I miss being part of that. Her advice for new nurses: nursing is a noble profession with many opportunities. Find a place that you love with mentors that will help you grow. There will be many frustrating days. Diane Frawley, are you here, Mrs. Frawley? Mrs. Frawley is a graduate of Mercy Hospital School of Nursing. Areas of practice included being a med-surg nurse for Mercy Hospital and Our Lady of Victory Hospital, tuberculosis control nurse for Erie County, American Red Cross, and Orchard Park Family Practice. Favorite nursing memory is receiving her cap and headband, and her advice to new nurses is to treat your patient like you would like to be treated. Kathy Tottenhagen, are you here, Mrs. Tottenhagen? Kathy is a graduate of Devo College. Areas of practice included medical surgical, ICU, CCU, pediatrics, research, triage, and office staff. She holds a special certification. She is certified as a research nurse and a certified school nurse teacher in New Jersey. Favorite nursing memory? An elderly man had brain surgery. He was confused and restrained. His family said he'd been an artist his whole life. We asked family to bring in his paint and brushes and sat him up in a chair with them, and he emerged. When he went home, he gave me a signed oil painting. I have it still and will always cherish it. The lesson: listen to families, think out of the box, and achieving wellness for your patients. Her advice for new nurses is a career in nursing offers much diversity. Take advantage of all opportunities. Remember, you are in service of your patients. The profession is one to provide compassion, empathy, and care of the mind, body, and spirit to each and every individual. Mrs. Lynn Gerber, are you here, Lynn? There she is. Mrs. Gerber is a graduate of Deaconess Hospital Nursing Program. Her areas of practice include medical surgical, pediatrics, mental health, emergency, education, and staff training. She also worked on the Boston Emergency Squad, helping many people who were in an emergency crisis. Her favorite thing about nursing? All of it. She also specifically enjoyed working with Dr. Steiner. Her advice to new nurses: work with patients and help them know what they need to do. Now we have a short video about some of our Fox Run nursing staff members. This is before the video started. Allie Kluth, are you here, Allie? Allie, are you here? physicians working closely with residents with dementia, including behavioral support and implementing behavioral interventions, and helping people stay independent and safe as their needs evolve. Her favorite nursing memory? One of the things I've always appreciated about this field is getting to know the residents well enough to recognize when something isn't quite right, even when it's subtle. A lot of the time, those small changes are the first sign that something bigger is going on. Being able to catch that early and step in before it turns into a bigger issue is one of the most rewarding parts of the job. Advice for new nurses: don't only rely on what's obvious. Pay attention to patterns over time. Changes in behavior, appetite, or mobility often tell you more than a single set of vitals. Also, stay grounded in your role and your setting. Good nursing isn't just about knowledge, it's about judgment and recognizing when something doesn't add up. Torino Gasberry, are you here, Torino? So Torino is our admissions coordinator, and he is a graduate of BOCES, TroCare, and also is in the Air Force. Thank you for your service, Torino. Areas of practice include medical surgical, EMT, being on the IV team, telemetry team, military, assisted living, and memory care. His favorite nursing career memory: bringing a man back to life using CPR. Advice to new nurses: keep calm, and everyone feels like they are missing something or are not trained enough. Me? So I graduated, thank you. I graduated from Erie 1 BOCES as an LPN, then went to Erie Community College and became a registered nurse, and then went to Aspen University online to earn a bachelor's in nursing. My area of practice is geriatric nursing. My favorite nursing career memory: during one of my clinical rotations, I was observing in the operating room, and the surgeon let me turn on the bear hugger and said that now I can always say I participated in a surgery. My advice to new nurses is to be kind to each other. Often what makes a good nurse is another good nurse showing them the way. Now listen to the video.
Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord, I just don't care. But you got the love I need to see me sometimes it's same, going gets so rough, and things go wrong no matter what I do. Now and then it feels like life is just too much. But you got the love I need to see me through. When food is gone, you are my daily. When friends are gone, I know my Savior's love is real. Your love is real. You got the love. You got the love. You got the love. You got the love. Sometimes I feel like my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord.
This is Allie Cluth, the nursing manager for assisted living and memory care. Why do you love being a nurse, Allie?
I love to learn something new every day.
You're a great nurse. We're glad you're here. Jen, why do you love being a nurse?
Because I'm a helper.
Yay! We love you.
We love you too.
Sarah, tell us why you love working as a medication technician at Foxtrot.
I love being able to help the residents.
We love you too. Fiona, why do you love being a nursing assistant at Fox Run?
Because I love helping the residents, and the staff here is great.
Well, we're happy that you're here. Thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome.
What's your favorite thing, Kathy, about being a nurse?
I love taking care of people. I love being at the bedside. It's where I came back to, and the residents are what it's about.
Well, we're very happy that you're here. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much.
Caitlin, what's your favorite thing about being a nurse?
I love coming to work and being able to help people and see them and their families, feel better about their care because we're here.
What advice would you give to new nurses starting out?
Just give yourself time. Give yourself grace and figure it out what kind of nurse that it is that you're going to be.
Great advice. Thank you. We're so glad you're here.
Thanks.
For the average person, the demands are too high, the hours too tough, the problems too complex, and the pressure too intense. Maybe it's because the average person isn't wired the way nurses are. They stand apart with their willingness to make the sacrifice, to embrace their role in the bigger picture. They have the vision to see how each department, each doctor, each technician, and each nurse has to work in seamless harmony. And the ability to see the world through a patient's eyes. To look at a cancer patient who's worn down from chemo and know just the right thing to say to bring her back around. To talk to a child who's going into surgery and assure him everything is going to be all right. To push past the sore feet, the headaches, and the obstacles, and keep performing at a level that seems almost superhuman. Caregiver, problem solver, family counselor, friend. Not many people can do what you do, which leaves us only one more thing to say.
Everyone here that's a nurse, even if you weren't part of this presentation, we're thankful for you and we're grateful for all that you did, and for all the nurses that are here at Fox Run, we're grateful for you and all that you do every day. And that is the end